Blues, plus 60 for United. They are the only two who could win the under-18 Premier League North. So City will be hopeful that they can get themselves a good win this afternoon. Both teams claiming the throw. The verdict goes the way of the visitors, whose first team are just outside the playoff picture in the Championship at the moment, hoping to get themselves back into the Premier League once again. But despite the fact Middlesbrough have been outside the Premier League for a number of years, they have retained their academy status, and it is a great catchment area. And usually the under-18s at Middlesbrough are a very exciting outfit. You'll expect City to dominate possession, and Kean Noble has it on the halfway line to try and start City off. But they lose it briefly. Noble again in possession. And it goes to Parker, and you'll see City will be very, very patient in their build-up. Just like the first team, really, they'll try to hold on to the ball as much as they can, try and force Middlesbrough to work a lot harder than they out of possession. That's a lovely ball spread out by Finlay Gorman. Regan Heskey, who loves to attack from the left wing, and did so on that occasion. Oh, is that a penalty? Referee says it isn't. Looked a mistimed challenge, but Sam Parnaby, the referee, immediately said no. Of course, there is no VAR, so it will not be a penalty. Looked as though it was a mistimed challenge, but the Blues do not get the reward of a penalty kick. Noble brings it forward, and that was a shove in the back. And a free kick to City. Well, a penalty call, but didn't go City's way. Let's have a look. Does he get the ball? No, I'm not convinced. Referee was. And the effort from McAdoo then bends wide of the post. It was just set out too far wide of that post, and it bent maybe a foot beyond it. But McAdoo, who is two-footed but is particularly strong on his left side, bent that ball around the goalkeeper and didn't miss by much. Well, in the space of just a few seconds, the Blues with a penalty shout not given, and then a McAdoo shot round the post. He scored 14 goals this season, Ryan McAdoo, and he's only 16 years old, so he has a number of years still in the under-18s. Here he is again, McAdoo. Great balance he has, as well as that explosive pace. But to be fair, Middlesbrough dispossessing him. Guided back by Givenson to Lloyd, the goalkeeper. Tried to spread the play to Palmer. Nicely done by McAdoo. He brings in Gorman. And now Noble and Braithwaite. It's not easy to teach players to be patient and not to look for maybe a more hurried pass, but that is part of the philosophy of the club, and even in the younger age groups you'll see that that is something that's drummed in from a very tender age. That need to keep hold of the ball and keep the opposition working out of possession, as we're witnessing here. Here's Regan Heskey, and helped on by Tyrone Samba. The Blues very much in control at the moment. Noble. Parker. hopefully hear the wind whipping across our microphones inside the Academy Stadium, or inside the Academy pitch anyway. Here's Gorman. Now Parker. This time last week, we were turning up at the Etihad Stadium in short-sleeve shirts. I think you'd be wiser to have a pretty heavy coat on this afternoon. Similar conditions on Merseyside as well, I can tell you. Miles guiding it back to Parker. And Noble bringing in Braithwaite. It's a clever clip ball over the top, and the flag's gone up, unfortunately. It's a lovely little dink ball over the top to bring in Regan Heskey, but just flagged offside. Couldn't have been a lot in it. So still 0-0 as we enter the 7th minute. But the Blues largely in control. Shot from McAdoo wide of the post, a penalty shout when Samba was upended. Here's Hudson, who's only had to touch the ball with his feet so far. But, the Blues have lost the ball on this occasion. Cartwright goes back to Givenson. City, though, back in possession again with Gorman. And here goes McAdoo. Working an angle for the shot, but just got underneath it. It is quite a lively surface, to be fair. And you can see the ball is bobbling. I think it just starts to spring up a bit. And McAdoo thumps it over the bar. You're just joining us, you're watching our live coverage of City's under-18s against Middlesbrough in the under-18 Premier League North. The Blues sitting proudly at the top of the table, 2 points clear of Manchester United, with 3 matches for both of those teams to play. So if the Blues can win their remaining 3 games, they will be Northern champions. And 2 of the last 3 games are here at the CFA. Derby County next week and Newcastle away to complete the fixtures. The Blues hoping to win their 18th league game in a row this afternoon. Here's McAdoo. Gorman. Braithwaite. Samba. Now Heskey. Samba on his outside, takes a defender with him. Goes instead to Miles, who tried the shot, but couldn't get past the first defender. Here's Gorman. Kean Noble. Gorman's ball over the top. Warhurst is onside. Parker. Tevenon. Now Heskey. Deflection goes City's way, actually, to McAdoo. Back to Heskey again. Helped backwards by Miles. Here's Tevenon. But Well taken by Lloyd in the Middlesbrough goal. Well won by Parker, guided back by Gorman to Hudson. Sun doing its best to sneak out from the slate grey skies. Here's Martin for Middlesbrough. Just overrunning it in the end. Will be a Borough throw though. Scott will take it, just in front of the dugouts. McAdoo with the tackle. Here's Warhurst. Just about kept on by Gorman, but the tackle by Scott wins it back. Warhurst won't quite get to the back pass. But, it was a good chase from him, and then a foot in allows Warhurst to get to the ball. Here's McAdoo. Gorman. Helped on by Miles, back to Gorman again. Now Braithwaite. Samba. Heskey. Trying to tease McPartland. Braithwaite again. Noble. Braithwaite. Heskey. Tevenon. Again, the Blues happy to go back and rebuild again. Here's Braithwaite. Noble. Miles. Heskey. Samba. Heskey, good football. Heskey, all the way maybe. Just wide of the post. Lovely combination of passes and sort of a 1-2 between Heskey and Samba. An extra touch maybe from Samba just to steady himself, but even so, it's lovely football. Heskey just wide of the post. Well, if you're wondering, Heskey indeed is the son of Emile, the former Leicester, Liverpool and England striker, and his older brother Jayden is also in the City ranks. He's a regular for the under-21s, the elite development squad. Quality in their genes. Emile Heskey, a wonderful support striker with an eye for goal. So 14 minutes or thereabouts of domination, but no goals yet for the Blues. Here's Braithwaite. Noble. Just came to Miles a bit quicker than he was expecting. Harrison's got it for Middlesbrough. On it goes to Hammelberg. No way through for the mercurial Middlesbrough striker. Martin changing the angle of the play well, bringing in McPartland, and the cross is a teaser, headed away well by Noble. Here's Tevenon. Braithwaite pops the ball out to Parker. Good tackle by Hammelberg, and he's going at City right down the centre, really well defended by Braithwaite. It was a tackle on Harrison Miles that just opened things up for Middlesbrough, and Hammelberg decided to go straight at the centre of City's defence. So well defended by Braithwaite. Here's McAdoo. He's done well to retain possession despite 2 challenges coming his way, and then he briefly lost his footing but still held on to the ball. Brings in Miles. Braithwaite. Tevenin. Braithwaite. Noble. McAdoo. Braithwaite to bring it forward for the Blues. Noble. McAdoo. Parker. Again, City happy to go back and start again with Hudson. Tried to pop it out to Heskey. Harrison for Middlesbrough. City win it back. Well, Manchester United's under-18s beat Derby County last night in a real topsy-turvy game. It took a late winner from United to give them the win. So City came to this game knowing there was, again, just a 2-point gap between the two teams. And with goal difference so similar between the two sides, the Blues know that only 3 wins will guarantee the title. 2 wins and a draw, and it will go down to goal difference. It's well played by Palmer. Scampering away from Noble, all the way maybe Palmer. It's a good challenge by Braithwaite, needed to be as well. Did well Bailey Palmer there. Ollie Rice just making a couple of minor adjustments, having viewed the opening 17 minutes here. Middlesbrough with the game's first corner, headed away by Braithwaite. Palmer. 2 Palmers in the Middlesbrough side. Anton wearing 8, Bailey wearing 11. City throw. Parker with it. Here's Noble. Looking for Warhurst maybe, but McAdoo is underneath it. Just lost control of it at the vital moment. Premier League North is a 24-game season. This is match 22 for City. 19 wins, a draw and a defeat so far. The City drive forward with their captain Braithwaite, just held up by Palmer. Tevenin. Noble. And now Miles. Back to Noble again. Parker. Braithwaite. Heskey. Just trod on the ball and allowed McPartland to nick it off him, but Tevenin keeps it in City possession. Noble.
That's it. This was the moment. Yes.
Into the channel for Warhurst. Might try to have a go here, Matty Warhurst, and it breaks for Gorman, and City lead. Finlay Gorman hits double figures in all competitions for the season. It's his 6th in the under-18 Premier League, And after all that domination of possession, City score with what is their first attempt on target. Warhurst tackled, but it's a fine finish from Finlay Gorman. And the Blues have themselves a deserved lead. Noble with the ball over the top for Warhurst, who was looking for an angle to shoot. And when the tackle broke for Gorman, although the goalkeeper got a piece of it, it is still 1-0 City. So the Blues deservedly in front. I mentioned that they won 7-0 against Middlesbrough back in October. 2 for Heskey, McAdoo, Mukasa, Warhurst, Batty, and there was an own goal. Hudson, well, he only just got that, you know. It was almost a rather bizarre own goal. Here's Eric Hammelberg, who puts the ball over the crossbar, but actually Middlesbrough came closest to scoring through the back pass that was just getting away from Hudson. Braithwaite plays it, and all of a sudden Hudson's thinking that might creep in. He did well to prevent it from doing so. And in the end, Hammelberg worked an angle to shoot, but put it over the crossbar. Well, I don't know if that counts as an attempt on target, the back pass from Braithwaite. Probably not. In which case, Middlesbrough yet to have one. So, mini scare there for the Blues. Just got the sense that Braithwaite played it a little blind, just assuming Hudson would be in a different position. Anyway, the Blues have got away with that one. And here they come now with Samba. On it goes to the goal scorer, Gorman. And now McAdoo. Here is McAdoo. Works an angle and scores! Well, you give him the big build-up. He doesn't disappoint, Ryan McAdoo. That explosive acceleration to get him away from a defender. And he's just thumped in his 15th goal of the season. Coming inside, and, well, there's hardly any backlift. It's just a wonderful hit. Clean and crisp into the net. And City, in the space of about 3 minutes, suddenly have a very firm grip on the game. And Ryan McAdoo, well, you sometimes pick out players pre-game and build them up, and it doesn't quite happen for them. Well, every time I watch this young fella, it does seem to happen for him. Well, you have conversations with people who are involved in the academy sides, and I was chatting to Nick Power not that long ago, who's part of the under-18, the academy setup, and the son, of course, of Paul Power, a former City captain, and he was saying how excited he was by Ryan McAdoo, and you can see why. Just an exceptional talent in a team full of exceptional talents. The future very, very bright at the CFA. Here's Parker. Now McAdoo, just 16 years old, remember. Trying to just thread it into the path of the advancing Parker. That's gone out of play. That'll be a City throw. Gorman got the opener and gets an assist for the second goal. McAdoo, its scorer. Middlesbrough have it now, though, with Harrison. City win it back quickly. Here's Braithwaite. Heskey. Tevenon. Braithwaite. Nicely played as well into Samba. And now Heskey. It's a teaser. Warhurst wasn't that far off getting to it. It'll go out for a throw. Good ball into a good area from Heskey. And Warhurst, well, if he was maybe the height of maybe a Peter Crouch, he might have put City 3 up. Here come the visitors with McPartland, who is actually a winger that's been converted into a fullback. Taking on Tevenon, he's showing all his attacking skills, and the ball, I think, has crept out for a corner. I think it just went to the left of the corner flag. Well, City might be leading by 2-0, but ironically, Middlesbrough have had the corners. Eric Hammelberg, their Portuguese attacker, is going to hit an outswinger. Just a little glance on by Cartwright, and a good sliding challenge by Parker. It's a foul on Anton Palmer, and that will be a Middlesbrough free kick. So in the 27th minute, 2 goals in 3 minutes. Finlay Gorman in the 20th, Ryan McAdoo in the 23rd, have given City a healthy but not necessarily a winning position. Hammelberg's delivery, and it'll be a corner, I think. No, it's been kept on by Tevenon and thumped away by Noble. Chases on for Warhurst. Pressure applied by Samba. And in the end, it goes back to Lloyd, the goalkeeper. Nicely taken down by Parker. Really well done by him. Braithwaite brings in Miles, and now Gorman. Parker, Gorman, Key and Noble. Oliver Tevenon. On to Caden Braithwaite. Try to bring in McAdoo. It breaks for Gorman. And Gorman has a go. And although it was wide of the target, it shows his attacking intent. We've already seen it today when he made it 1-0. I think the goalkeeper always felt it was going wide. Samba rose the highest, nudged away by Woodhouse, and back to his goalkeeper Lloyd. Givenson, little touch from McPartland. City win it back though with Miles. Now Noble. Braithwaite. Heskey. Tevenon. Heskey helping it on to Braithwaite. It's a good ball here. Samba! Straight at the goalkeeper. Well played by Braithwaite. And a good hit from Samba. But he couldn't put it either side of the goalkeeper. And albeit on target, it was fairly routinely saved in the end. Middlesbrough have a problem. One of their players has a loose shoelace, and the referee's allowing him to tie it up. Oliver Lloyd in the Middlesbrough goal has the signal. Braithwaite underneath it, brought it down, caressed it really to Tevenon. Braithwaite again. Hudson. Really delightfully done by the goalkeeper. Braithwaite again charging forward, and the referee inadvertently halts that City attack. The game will restart with the Blues back in possession again.
Collectively, together, everyone's going to back the press up one way, not just you.
Here's Braithwaite. Quarter of an hour to half-time. You're watching our live coverage on City Plus of the Blues under-18s, top of the under-18 Premier League North table. And here's McAdoo trying to make it 3 now for the Blues. McAdoo right across the face, but in the end it was cleared by Givenson. Goals in the 20th minute by Gorman and the 23rd by McAdoo. But here come Middlesbrough through Palmer. Taking on Braithwaite, gets the better of him. Runs into Gorman, and the referee's given a free kick to the visitors. Gorman looks unimpressed. Sam Parnaby says no, that is a foul. So a free kick to Middlesbrough. Hammelberg ready to take it. Just a 2-man wall to make sure they don't try and creep it in at the near post. Headed away by Noble. Helped on by Scott. Woodhouse and then McPartland. Givenson. Scott. Hammelberg. It's a good ball to bring in Cartwright. Hammelberg again. Sliding challenge by Gorman. But here's Bailey Palmer for the visitors. Ironically, they now win the game's 3rd corner. City yet to have one. Referee not happy with the place at which that was taken. So City lead by 2-0. 3 wins away from the under-18 Premier League North title. It's well cleared at the near post by Warhurst. Clipped back in again by Harrison. And Hudson is there for the Blues. Looking for his 8th clean sheet in what would be his 14th start. He and Oliver Watmuff have pretty much been sharing goalkeeping duties. Tavernan try to find Heskey. Braithwaite, Noble, Niles, and now Parker. On it goes to Warhurst. Teasing cross. Goes out for a throw. Woodhouse back defending for Middlesbrough. Here's Gorman. It's a foul. Be a City free kick. City always like to take free kicks quickly and short. Get the game back in to their control swiftly. Pass from Braithwaite just in front of Samba. Here's Hammelberg. Palmer. Looking for the burst from Ethan Scott, the left back. Palmer again. Good positioning from Miles. The City have managed to quell the danger. Samba. Free kick for the foul by Cartwright. Taken quickly, Gorman. Now McAdoo. Parker. Noble. Tevenen. Braithwaite. Just maybe ran out of patience on that occasion, City. But they'll be back into possession again. Something like 80% of the ball they've had so far. Miles. Parker. Fabulous control from City. You forget these are just 16, 17, 18-year-olds. They play with such maturity. Here's Parker. Sensible ball to bring in Miles, who wants the return from McAdoo. That's a really good sliding challenge by Martin, but it breaks for Gorman. And now Heskey. Heskey. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. Palmed away for a throw. Regan Heskey worked an angle to hit the shot, and it was arrowing to the corner. And this is a good save by the goalkeeper. Keeping his team just about in this game with 8 minutes to half-time. Braithwaite. Tevenen has a go, and again the goalkeeper extended and makes the save. Well, in the space of about a minute, he has denied Regan Heskey, and now Oliver Tevenen. And City do have their first corner of the match. They do normally go short with their corners. Not often they pop it into the area, but looks as though they might be doing on this occasion. Indeed, they have. Headed away by Palmer. Battling on the edge of the area was Miles. In by Noble. Dangerous cross into the box, but well dealt with by Woodhouse. Middlesbrough looking for a counter-attack here with Harrison leading the way. Into the gap for Anton Palmer. And there's Hudson's first genuine save of the match to prevent Middlesbrough from getting a little bit of a platform. It's a good counter. And Anton Palmer on target. That's a good save. Middlesbrough's fourth corner. City again clearing it decisively. McPartland, ball into the path of Palmer. Good challenge by Gorman. And here's Noble. Parker. Caden Braithwaite. Miles. Braithwaite.
Come on, narrow that through.
So we're into the last 5 minutes here at the City Football Academy. Our live coverage on City Plus of our under-18s. Top of the under-18 Premier League North table by 2 points. And they know they're 3 wins away from being the champions. And at the moment, they lead this game 2-0. So the first of those 3 matches going the way that we would like. Still a long way to go in this game, though. Here's McAdoo, one of the scorers. Another wonderful piece of skill from McAdoo. And on it goes to Gorman. Shot cannoning off a defender. Back in by Parker. Warhurst almost getting to the loose one. Gorman again. Now Palmer for Middlesbrough. Trying to get the better of Harrison Parker, and he's done it. Palmer into the area, and Hudson just beating it away two-handed. Well, he did really well, Bailey Palmer. He loses Harrison Parker, drives it into that near post area, and the goalkeeper Max Hudson makes the second save in about 4 minutes. Now the Blues have a problem here, and Parker has gone down just after that attempt to win the ball back from Palmer, and just wonder whether he's tweaked something here. There's a grimace on his face. Lots of activity among the substitutes, but so close to half-time, I'm sure they'll want to give Harrison Parker as long as possible to return himself to full fitness. McAdoo deep in dialogue with Kolo Toure. At the end of all of that, it's a Middlesbrough throw. You can see Parker is ready to come back on and see whether he can continue. Here's Palmer. City throw. Gorman with it. City still down to 10 for the moment. Parker's just received the signal. Forward by Gorman. And Lloyd with time for Middlesbrough. Should be Max Hudson's, it is. Had to make a couple of saves, Max Hudson. All in the last sort of 6 or 7 minutes. Here's Parker. Let's see if he's free in his movement. Finds McAdoo. Now Warhurst. Nice ball out to Heskey. Support from Tevenon. Helped on by Miles. Now Noble. Brings in Parker. by Samba. And cleared for a City throw. So how much added time are we going to be getting here? I think the referee signalled a couple of minutes there. Here's Braithwaite. Samba tackled. Here's Palmer. That might be a corner. It is. City still with some defending to do to take a 2-0 lead into half-time.
Hands on, hands on. Get across, get across.
Hammelberg whipping it in, cleared by Warhurst. Now that might just favour Samba, and it does. And now Heskey can charge forward, and City on the counter with a chance to make it 3. And Heskey's, well, another good save. Ollie Lloyd has made 3 excellent saves in this first half in the Middlesbrough goal. Heskey charging forward. He looked to his right to see if there was a pass on to Warhurst. In the end, he went for it himself, and Lloyd made the save. Well, the goalkeeper made the save and took a blow on the follow-through. Super save from Ollie Lloyd. But I just wonder whether Heskey might have been better served rolling it into the path of one of his colleagues to the right. Always easier to say when you're off the field than on it in that split second. But anyway, it was a good save to deny Heskey a 3rd goal. So far so good for the Blues. 3 victories away from the Under-18 Premier League North title. They lead Middlesbrough by 2-0. Finlay Gorman with the opener in the 20th minute. And he passed the ball to McAdoo, who went on and scored to make it 2. The Blues have had other chances as well. Oliver Lloyd in the Middlesbrough goal has made 2 or 3 really good saves. Max Hudson has also been stretched a couple of times. It's a very watchable game. But at half-time, it is City who lead it by 2-0. Period. Well, the Blues won the first meeting of these two teams by 7-0 up in Teesside. They're some way off that kind of scoreline, but if the Blues win this game today, they will move 5 points above Manchester United, who are in second, and a step nearer the Under-18 Premier League North title. City heading at the moment for what would be a quite exceptional 20th win in a row in the Under-18 Premier League. Here's Regan Heskey, who almost added a 3rd goal late on. Back heel to Samba, up towards Warhurst. Miles on the edge of the area. Now Gorman, and now Miles, and now Headley. Good attack from City, and it ends with a City throw. McAdoo just tackled as he was trying to play it back to Headley. Good burst away by Cartwright. Palmer in by Scott, and just wide by Hammelberg. Well, that's probably the closest Middlesbrough have come to a goal. It was a well-worked move, actually. Little set from Harrison just there, and Hammelberg hit it wide of the City goal. Just a reminder that this game is not completed.
Get over now, get over now, get over and in. Come on, up, up. Come on, on the press, follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it. Get over it. Keep going, keep going. Follow it.
Here's Braithwaite. It's done well, Braithwaite, to emerge and win a City throw. Noble. Looking towards McAdoo. Away by Scott. Gorman. McAdoo. Headley. It's done well, Headley. So too, though, did Ollie Lloyd in the Middlesbrough goal. Did well to cling on to that. Could have easily bounced out of his possession. Palmer. Cartwright. And that's a foul. Free kick to Middlesbrough. Challenge on Cartwright. Penalised. Headley back to Hudson, who finds Miles, and then Braithwaite. Miles again. Tevenant. Braithwaite. Here's Noble. Gorman. Headley. On towards McAdoo. Managed to get himself to the ball in front of Scott. Gorman. Miles. Gorman. Headley. It's a good ball, and Warhurst will tap it in. And now City have the kind of lead that you feel should be enough to win this game. Matty Warhurst with what is his 26th goal of the season in all competitions, his 12th in the Under-18 Premier League. And Headley, who came on as a substitute at half-time, has provided the assist for Matty Warhurst. And the Blues now lead by 3 goals to 0. Well, the 50th minute when that went in. And City in a commanding position. And just a reminder, if they win their remaining 3 matches of this season, of which this is the first of those 3, they will be the Under-18 Premier League North champions. They lead the table at the moment by 2 points from Manchester United, but if the Blues add 3 more points here, they'll be 5 clear, and they might be 4-0 up here, but just a little bit far away from Heskey. Helps it on to Miles, and now McAdoo. Does well to retain possession for the Blues. Here's Headley. Certainly had an impact since he came on at half-time, Dante Headley. Another 16-year-old in the Under-18 squad, in which there are a number. Harrison Miles, 16 years old. And City have a 4th goal, and in the end, Warhurst, who'd been waiting for his 1st goal, quickly gets 2. Well, it was just a sort of steady ball, really, over the top. Middlesbrough couldn't get to Warhurst, and Warhurst put it beyond the goalkeeper. And all the intricacies of City's build-up play, it was just a punt over the top. And Warhurst, well, his finish was very, very ruthless. And in the space of a couple of minutes, Warhurst now has his first and second goals of the afternoon. I mentioned at the start of the second half that the Blues beat Middlesbrough 7-0 back in October. It's not inconceivable that they might hit that kind of target today. Most important thing, though, is to win the game. And you would think at 4-0 that surely is the case. That's a Middlesbrough free kick. Now, the referee says play on because they still had the ball. Played in by Harrison. Just eludes Dante Headley. Here's Scott. Now Palmer. And the ball has gone out of play. So City 4, Middlesbrough 0. Gorman and McKay in the first half. Matty Warhurst with 2 in 2 minutes in the second. Here's Tevenon. Into the gap, looking towards Heskey. A little bit of activity on the sideline. Looks as though the Blues are going to make 2 changes imminently. Here's Braithwaite. Tevenon. Braithwaite. Miles. Oh, that's a hefty challenge on Gorman. Well, City still had the ball, so the referee was trying to play advantage, but in the end he had to stop the play. In the meanwhile, Christian Dunbar-MacDonald's going to come on. City a little too hurried with that free kick, gave the ball away. Here's Noble. And now Miles. Braithwaite. Noble. Gorman. Headley. Trying to find Warhurst, who I'm sure will be eyeing a hat-trick now, with 35 minutes still to play here. Braithwaite. Heskey. Oh, super skill, brilliant from Heskey. And it breaks for Warhurst, does it? No, just the little nudge from Martin stopped him getting to the ball, Matty Warhurst. You can see that the Blues are ready to bring on Christian Dunbar-MacDonald and Femi Fepetu. Middlesbrough are going to bring on Kruzibet. And here come those changes now. Fepetu and Dunbar-MacDonald coming on. Tyrone Samba is one of them, and Harrison Miles is the other. And Middlesbrough bringing on Leon Parker. and Kruzibet. Will McPartland, one of those who's come off. So we've not quite got to the hour mark yet. Changes from both head coaches. Here's Noble. Tevenon. Harrison was the other who went off for Middlesbrough, Lucas Harrison. Ebet and Parker coming on for the visitors. It's a good ball to bring in Cartwright. Scott. Header away by Noble, further by Braithwaite. And on the edge of the area, that's a terrific effort and really good double save from Max Hudson. Anton Palmer hit the shot. Hudson parried and then got there in the nick of time in front of the advancing Kruzibet. Here's Braithwaite for City. Strong run from him. Taking City from defence into attack. Here he is again. Looks as though the sun has crept out. Braithwaite just getting his breath back after that terrific burst forward. Here's McAdoo for City. Gorman. For Petu. Tevenon. Headley. For Petu. Still more than half an hour to play here. City in cruise control. Here's Gorman. Blues looking for more. McAdoo's cross deflects out for a corner. It's only City's second corner of the match. Not necessarily a representation of what we've witnessed today. Gorman will swing it in. Braithwaite. Warhurst hit it on the volley. It was Woodhouse in the way. Lloyd launching it long, headed away by Noble, helped on by Braithwaite. Here's Heskey. Tevenon. Braithwaite. Noble. Headley. Goalkeeper just let it run away from him. City can pounce on the loose clearance. Dunbar McDonald trying to find Warhurst. Hammelberg. Well met by Headley. And then he wins it back again, and here's Gorman. Tries to find McAdoo. Scott came across. Middlesbrough have swept up the danger for the moment. Here's Headley again. Middlesbrough throw. So City lead by 4 goals to 0. Finlay Gorman with the opener, McAdoo with the second, and then 2 for Warhurst in about 2 minutes. One set up by Headley, the other a long ball from Noble. Here's Tevenin. Loses it, and Anton Palmer comes forward for the visitors. Hammelberg, good turn. Palmer again. Poked away by Noble. Here's Gorman. Looking long to Heskey. And here he is, Regan Heskey. And a terrific finish again. Ryan McAdoo. He scored a wonderful 23rd minute goal to make it 2-0. He's now wrapped in another to make it 5. And he, like Matty Warhurst, is now 2/3 the way to a hat-trick. And City are on the way to a vital victory, which will put them 5 points ahead at the top of the table with 2 matches to play. Regan Heskey with a huge part in this build-up. And he teed up McAdoo, and McAdoo thumped it into the goal. So 5-0 now to City.
Hi pal, you're good. You can hear me? Yeah, good mate.
So Kylan Midwood is going to come on for City.
So it should be all right. I've not touched my mic, so can you test the level now, or should we do it later? So it'll be something like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
Warhurst is going to make way.
Something like that, mate.
No striker likes to come off when he's 2 goals to the good.
Nudge me down, maybe.
But
all right, bye, mate.
with this game seemingly won now, Ollie Rice can give some minutes to Kylan Midwood. "25 minutes still to play. City lead by 5 goals to 0. 2 for Warhurst, 2 for McAdoo, 1 for Gorman. Hammelberg's ball forward. And it's an offside decision. City getting ever closer to the Premier League North title. They face Derby County at home and Newcastle away. If they take 6 points from those 2, they will be champions. Nothing second place Manchester United can do. If they take 4 points from those 2 games, it will come down to goal difference on the assumption that United win their remaining 3 games. So City's goal difference with this 5-0 scoreline will be 8 better than United. So it is worth still looking for more goals for City without wanting to be too greedy, just in case goal difference becomes a decisive factor. Has that gone out? Signal doesn't come. Here's Hammelberg. Tevenin pokes it away. Palmer. And that's a free kick in a very central area. Foul by Gorman. Max Hudson erecting a wall on the edge of his area. Looks as though Oliver Martin is going to hit this for Middlesbrough. Left-footed. Here is Martin. It's over the bar. And it was over the top of the wall, but it was over the top of the net. Braithwaite looking towards Midwood. Hammelberg. Heskey can bring City forward. Good tackle though by Woodhouse. Here's Palmer. Just over the angle of post and bar from Bailey Palmer. Wasn't a bad effort. He worked an angle for the opening and put it beyond the stretch of Max Hudson, but it was also beyond his net. Here's Headley. McAdoo, who of course can still eye a hat-trick, unlike Matty Warhurst, who was given a breather by Ollie Rice earlier. Here's Braithwaite for City. Midwood just beaten to it. Here's Hammelberg. Cartwright. Referee says that's a tug on the shirt by Dunbar MacDonald. Free kick to Middlesbrough. Overhit by Hammelberg, and that will be a City goal kick. Well, they'd love a clean sheet, Max Hudson, I'm sure. It would be his 8th of the season if he were to complete it. This is only his 14th start in the Under-18 Premier League North. Braithwaite, Tevenant. Braithwaite. Up towards Dunbar MacDonald. Middlesbrough have it back with Hammelberg. Palmer. And now Parker. Woodhouse. Givenson. Woodhouse. Braithwaite wins it back for the Blues. Up towards McAdoo it goes. McAdoo tackled just at the vital moment. Good foot in by Oliver Martin, and Oliver Lloyd in the Middlesbrough goal did well to prevent the corner. City get it back again though. Here's Tevenant. Midwood, Braithwaite, Gorman, Headley, McAdoo. Dunbar MacDonald, now Heskey. Good ball, no, unlucky. Nice idea. from Heskey to try and play it into the path of Dunbar MacDonald, but just a couple too many revolutions on the ball. Good tackle by Gorman. That will be a City throw. Well, inside the last 20 minutes now. City once again showing their ruthlessness and heading for their 20th successive victory in Premier League North. A run of results which goes back to the end of August. Yet they're still not necessarily confirmed as champions just yet. They are now 5 points above United, however, and with an 8 better goal difference as it stands. City with just 2 more games to play after today. Here's McAdoo, holds on to it well, and on it goes to Gorman, and Gorman bundled over, and the referee says it's not enough for a penalty. Ooh, that was a late one. The referee says you might as well play on because Heskey's got it. Dunbar MacDonald's back on his feet again. Heskey goes and scores. Super finish from Regan Heskey. Good refereeing at the heart of it too, to allow play to continue after the foul on Dunbar MacDonald. And Regan Heskey joins the party. That challenge there could easily have ended in a free kick for the Blues. Dunbar MacDonald mercifully straight up on his feet, and then Heskey just kept on running and finishes exquisitely. And it is City 6, Middlesbrough 0. The Blues absolutely devastating once again. Well, there's still a quarter of an hour to play here. Well, maybe the Blues will match their 7-0 victory against the same opponents back in October. Here's Tavernan. Dunbar MacDonald. Now McAdoo. Cleared, but not very far. Picked up by Fapetu. Here he is again. Braithwaite. And again, just to reiterate, goal difference might still be significant. If City get 4 points from their next 2 matches rather than 6 and they win the title, end of story. 4, and it will come down to goal difference perhaps. So it is worth City still looking for more. And in what, 14 minutes, let's say another 3 on top, 17, 18 more minutes to play here. And they've got the ball back, but Heskey couldn't quite get to the loose ball. Noble did well. Braithwaite. Little touch from Dunbar MacDonald. Here's Heskey. Helped on towards Gorman. Now McAdoo. Fapetu. Headley. Fapetu. Headley again. Now Tavernan. Good possession from the Blues, working Middlesbrough. It's a foul. Middlesbrough free kick. Headley. Now Braithwaite. Tevenan's clearing header. Middlesbrough have had quite a few corners in this game, intriguingly. More corners than City. How is City going to deal with that looping ball in successfully through Max Hudson? Can they mount a counter-attack maybe? Not quite. Still some defending to do. And Hudson, did he prevent the corner? No, he did not. Signal says it is another Middlesbrough corner. Hammelberg to take the corner. Header away by Noble. And the clearance might offer City the chance of a counter, because here's Dunbar McDonald and Heskey, and a terrific save to deny Midwood. I just wonder if Midwood hadn't got to it, McAdoo might have completed his hat-trick. Here is McAdoo. Referee says no foul on him. That's a foul, though. And that'll be a yellow card as well for Petu. It's the first yellow card of the afternoon, actually. Inside the last 10 minutes here. Middlesbrough are going to make another couple of changes, bringing on Logan Edmondson and Joe Roberts. Here's Hammelberg. City have stopped him for the moment. Tevenan's cleared it, taking no chances. Ambitious effort, and it hits the underside of the crossbar. And now the offside flag's up. Oh, what a hit that was. Speculative attempt. It was one of the substitutes, Edmondson, who's only just come on. And he hit the shot over the top of the outstretched fingers of Max Hudson, and it came off the underside of the bar. 8 minutes still to play, and you can be absolutely certain that those defending the City goal will be very keen to complete a clean sheet this afternoon. But, it very nearly went awry. Very nearly. Away by Noble. Up towards Midwood. Poked on by Gorman, but won back by Scott. Here's Hammelberg. Just held by Dunbar MacDonald. Free kick to Middlesbrough. Givenson. Forward by Scott. And that will be another Middlesbrough corner. City lead this game by 6-0. Middlesbrough lead the corner count by 6-2. Sometimes statistics can be misleading. Middlesbrough looking for a consolation, but they're not going to get it there. That will be a City throw. So 6 minutes and counting. You're watching our live coverage from the City Football Academy of the Blues under-18s, who are top of the under-18 Premier League North and are 3 wins away from being champions. And at the moment, this is the first of those 3 games in the bag. At home to Derby, away to Newcastle, win both of those 2, and they will be the Northern champions, which not only earns them that title, but gives them the chance of becoming national champions by beating the Premier League Southern champions when they're crowned. Here's Heskey, who was the scorer of the 6th goal. Back it goes to Dunbar MacDonald. There's 5 minutes of the 90 to play. Here's Braithwaite. Dunbar MacDonald tried to poke it through to Tavernan. Here's Hammelberg, helped on and into the path of Ibe. Ibe's ball in. Good covering. City have a man down there. Is it Braithwaite, the captain? I think it is. Well, City have made all their outfield substitutions, so there are many, many reasons why we're hoping this isn't anything significant for Caden Braithwaite. I wonder if he's had his hand trodden on. It just seems to be holding. Trying to work out exactly what happened there. Seems to be holding his hand as if he maybe had his hand trodden on. Let's have a look at this. Braithwaite in the centre of your picture there slides to the floor. I wonder if he maybe bent his finger back or something as he slid downwards. Painful, whatever it was, but he's okay. That's the main thing. City have it with Midwood. On to McAdoo. McAdoo trying to find a hat-trick maybe. Goalkeeper did well. In fairness to Oliver Lloyd in the Middlesbrough goal, without his contribution, City may even have had double figures today. The busy Hammelberg trying to break City down. It's a lovely ball as well. And Parker now bursting forward. City don't want to concede a goal here. Noble ensures they don't. Tired ball in the end, really, given away to Palmer. And that will be yet another Middlesbrough corner. Well, if you were purely looking at the corner statistic this afternoon, you would think that Middlesbrough had been the team in command. 6 corners to 2 in their favour. Actually, I think it might be 7 corners to 2 now. City have had 19 attempts in the match, 11 of them on target. 6 have gone in. Who's getting it away? Nicely done by Dunbar MacDonald. Fapettu challenging. Middlesbrough emerge with it. And now City can maybe counter with Fapettu. Now McAdoo and Gorman. Headley. Braithwaite. Braithwaite again. And now Hudson. Noble. Headley. Noble's there again for City. Here's Cartwright for Middlesbrough. Now Hammelberg. Middlesbrough still looking for a consolation. We're going to find out if there's any added time in a minute. Here's McAdoo. A long look at the watch from the referee. Don't think either side will mind if he blows now. I think we're all pretty sure that this game is long since over. Tevenon. Dunbar MacDonald. Heskey. Well, a comprehensive win for City. They're 20th in the Premier League North in a row. They're 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League North table. They're 2 wins away from being the champions. And in this kind of form, they are simply irrepressible. City 6, Middlesbrough 0.